Hi guys, Spence $23 here. We're going to be taking a look today at the best 5 freeze attack strategies in Clash Royale. So here we go with the countdown.
Freeze, you diseased rhinoceros pizzle.
Number 5. It's the Expo. People get so frustrated battling against the Expo, but most people have figured out that by itself the Expo is pretty useless. It has many nemesis cards, main ones being barbarians, minions. They will take it down super rapid. Here's an attack using an Expo. This time though, if you use a balloon, you can send your balloon first, distract your attacker. He's busy worrying about the loon, sneaking your Expo behind, and as long as you've got the trusty freeze spell, you can freeze the defenses. And even though this guy has frozen my Expo, the minions have divided in two, and this tower is going down through a combination of the loon and the Expo. Tried to do a hog defense. Expo starts defending and then goes back for the tower, tower down. Here we go again. This time the Expo is going to be targeting the right hand tower using a Giant Larry. Giant Larry gets in the way, prevents the Expo against another Expo being targeted. This is a level 10, a level 5 Expo which would have destroyed mine, but the Giant Larry has taken it down. Sneaking your Expo in behind a Giant Larry is one of the best ways to protect it. If you've got a freeze spell, it'll protect it, but not against a rocket. So this is the right hand side tower almost been destroyed. I want to finish it off with an Expo. This time I've sent my Giant Larry down the left hand side. He's not going to bother with his using anything against that Expo now. He knows he's lost his tower, and because I didn't have to use my freeze to defend it, I've got a spare freeze up the towers, and in goes my loon, and this level 10 is probably about to lose to my lowly level 7. Giant Larry for the win. Number 4. This is my favourite free spell attack. It's the Barbarians. It's not that easy to pull it off. Uses kind of a lot of elixir and there are a lot of defences against it. The Nemesis cards versus the Barbs, they really don't like meeting other Barbs. They don't like Minion Hordes, but if you can get a freeze on the tower when your opponent's elixir starved, you can cause some serious damage really quite quickly. If you time your freeze a little bit better than that and freeze the defending troops as well, it's not uncommon to take down a tower in one go. Counter-attack with the Barbs is also great. They really don't like meeting Giant Larrys. If you meet a Giant Larry with your Barbarians, you're almost certainly going to lose them. But this guy's trying to defend with an Inferno, but with a freeze spell, you can freeze the Inferno and you can freeze the tower, and this will finish off this right-hand side tower. It's Barbarian Freeze for the win. Now if you're really lucky, you can combine your Barbarians with a Barbarian Hut and attack your opponent with up to 8 Barbarians at once. 8 Barbarians on a King Tower, any tower, will take it down super quick. This is me trying to set up that attack now. It's not very easy to pull off. Sometimes again you have to take them by surprise, or you need to do it on the counter attack. I'm going to try it on the counter attack here. Musketeer's gone down. I haven't got my Barbarian card ready yet. First couple of Barbarians are on their way down now. They're not going to make it all the way to this tower. My freeze spell is ready. Waiting now. I don't want to meet a wizard or any of the Nemesis cards. Don't want to lose everything. You could lose all 8 of your Barbs to a Giant Larry, but he's placed the Giant Larry on the right hand side to take my tower, so I'm going to distract that, and now I know I'm free to send all my Barbs down the left hand side without the fear of them being exploded by Giant Larry's big bomb. Freeze on the tower. Tower is going down so quickly, and there's so much forward momentum with these Barbarians now. They're going to take the King Tower. I don't care what happens to my right hand side tower, because I know I'm going to get the 3 crown win. Barbarian Freeze, pretty OP. Number 3. It's the Hog Rider. Now the Hog Rider freeze is probably one of the most common attacks in the game, and so is the freeze defense on the Hog Rider. Hog Riders, they're really not a fan of meeting Barbarians, Minion Hordes, and they're really not best pleased by Fireballs either, but it won't take them down. This Hog Rider's done some serious damage to this right hand side tower using just a freeze spell and barely any backup troops at all. Here we go, this is 2 Hogs being sent simultaneously down the left hand lane. Both guys have got a freeze ready. What are they going to do? They both decided to freeze at the same end. What will the result of that be? 2 level 8 Hogs, which one is going to come out the top? So it turns out the one that was frozen has done the most damage. And this is possibly the fastest Hog win when combined with another troop I think I've ever seen. This is William the Minion attacking Blastolimus. William is going to use a rage spell, a Hog, and a Prince, and of course a freeze to take this base down in under 30 seconds. First he's got the rage spell, which happens to reach all the way over to the King Tower. He's just waiting for the elixir for his freeze spell. It's not an ideal place freeze spell there. It does leave 1 spear goblin, but that 1 spear goblin is not going to stop this attack. Look at the speed of that. It's a 3 crown win before the other guy has even got started. Number 2. It's the Goblin Barrel. This is one of the hardest ones to pull off. If your opponent has any of the Nemesis cards, you're going to repeatedly lose your Goblins and achieve absolutely nothing. Arrows and Fireball will take down a Goblin Barrel instantly, so you've got to plan these attacks perfectly. But if you do, if you've made sure your opponent has expended those cards and you use your freeze spell, you can take down a tower really well with a freeze and a Goblin Barrel. This is Toast from Lost Phoenix. He's attacking Ivan 007. Here comes his Goblin Barrel. The defense has used minions, but he's managed to wait long enough to freeze the minions. He's frozen the tower, and that has taken the tower down with a Goblin Barrel. No backup support at all. This is Flames. He's going to be using the Goblin Barrel. Now Flames decides to use minions in combination with his Goblin Barrel. Sometimes that's a good idea. That means you can persuade your opponent to use their Fireball or their arrows on the minions, leaving your Goblin Barrel free to destroy the tower if you freeze it. Here he goes. His minions are going in first. Now the defense that Kaixor is going to use, he's going to drop an Inferno down, but that's not going to help because the freeze spell freezes the Inferno, freezes the tower, and that's quite a good lot of damage done to Kaixor by that attack. And Flames is going to keep doing that attack, and it seems that Kaixor is pretty impotent in stopping it. There doesn't seem to be anything that he can do about it. And this attack keeps going on repeatedly over and over and over again. He's got his minions ready, he's got his Goblin Barrel ready, and his freeze. Here he goes, he's waiting for the Inferno to go down. It's gone down. Kaixor's only method of defense is to put a building there to try and distract the minions, but it's not going to work. Freeze spell on the tower, Goblin Barrel for the win. He manages to save it at 30, but unfortunately 1 minion finishes it off. Number 1. Yes, number 1, it's the Giant Pekka. It's so difficult to use this attack. Very few people even bother trying to do it because if you fail, you're likely to get absolutely smashed on the counter attack. But unfortunately, this is me being absolutely demolished by Yo Buddy. I did manage to destroy all of his accompanying attackers, but this Pekka has made it all the way to my tower. He's frozen my tower, and unfortunately, that's it, going down very quickly on his very first attack. And he's going to do it again. He's going to drop the Pekka behind his King Tower. That gives him plenty of time to save up the elixir, to back up his Pekka. And unfortunately, none of the cards that I have are any good at all against the Pekka. The Nemesis cards for the Pekka: Skeletons, Inferno, Minion Horde. I don't have any of those things, so I'm desperately laying cards, but none of them are going to stop him at all. Even a freeze spell, freeze all his troops, gives me time to get my arrows ready. The arrows will destroy all of these minions and the spear goblins, but still the Pekka charges on forward. It's going to take down my tower with absolutely no difficulty at all, while the barbarians destroy my King Tower. Depressingly, it's a 3 crown win for Yo Buddy versus me. So many of you guys will know Apex. He's in Lost Phoenix in Clash. He's in full attack in Clash Royale. He sends his Pekka from the back of his base, gives him time to build up some of his elixir to defend his Pekka, and this attack is going to be pretty interesting. So he's got some barbarians out at the front. That will prevent any defending barbarians, which are coming right here. And this Pekka's not too worried, kills the barbarians in one swipe. Now, the defender, Ion HK, he's frozen the Pekka, but that is not going to help. Smart from Apex, he puts a wizard in behind the Pekka. That's going to destroy all of these Larrys that burst out of the building. Finally, the freeze spell takes down the Inferno, which is definitely the nemesis of this Pekka, and down goes that tower in no time at all. The Pekka even takes down the Inferno before it's finished. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to let me know in the comments which top 5 you would like to see next. And if you're not subscribed already, what are you waiting for? Let's do that right away. I'll be back a little bit later. We're going to be doing some more Clash of Clans Clan Wars at Town Hall 9. And I'll be back next week with the best clan war you have ever seen. Biggie v Smalls. Until then, you guys take care. Send everyone!